Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to Rescue Code. Today we are going to talk about file handling in C. So this is the most frequently asked questions about file handling. Most of the people get totally lost when they listen file handling in any programming languages. If you watch this video till end, you will be clear about the file handling in C and every other programming language too. So let's begin. In file handling, you are going to deal with files which are in certain memory locations. So there is a memory, this is a whole memory, and your file is somewhere in the memory. There are other too many files in the memory, but you like to deal with only a single file. So you need a pointer that will always point to the file to which you are going to deal about. So for that we need a file pointer. Here the file pointer will point to a specific file in a whole memory where we want to read our data or write our data to a file. So this is the basics about file handling in C. Before going further, you have to be clear about this. I repeat, there is a whole memory and your file is in certain memory locations, in certain part of the memory, and you like to deal with that part of memory, that means that file. So you need a pointer that will point to your file in the memory. So here is the importance of a file pointer. I hope you understand this. Now let's proceed. So there are various operations in file handling. You can open the file, you can read the file, you can write the file, you can close the file, you can rename, you can do many other functions. So here are the basics of file handling. Basic operations. So first you can see fopen. So fopen function is used to create a new data file. Suppose there is no any file in memory. So first you have to create a file. To create a file, you should use a fopen function. So next is fclose. Fclose is simply used to close your data file. So why it is important to close data file? If you open data file, then you must close it, because when you leave it opened, your data may be corrupt or your data may be lost by some ways. So if you open the file and after you finish your work, then at last at the end of the program, don't forget to close that open file. Next is getC. So getC means get character. It is used to read a character from data file. PutC is used to write a character to data file. GetW is used to read an integer from data file, and putW is used to write an integer to a data file. So how to understand this fclose or getC, putC, getW, putW? It is just opposite to print and scan. So we'll run this in the figure diagram below. First let's thoroughly go it. So let's use fscanf. Fscanf is used to read formatted data from file. That means don't see f, only see scanf. Scanf is used to what? Scanf is used to read formatted data from the input. That means you can input integers, you can input float type, you can input character, you can input string as per your demand, as per your wish. So fscanf means will scan formatted data from data file. Similarly, fprintf will write formatted data to a data file. Okay. Next is fread. Fread will read a record from data file. The fwrite will simply write record to data file. When you write code, then you will understand the use of these all functions. So let's proceed. Here is IO functions and read write functions. So how these functions work? See here, these all the input and output functions you should remember with the help or with consideration of your main program. Think you are the program, and program in one place there is a program, next there is input functions, next there is output functions. In the side of the output functions there are destination, that is monitor, and in place of the input functions there is source, that means keyboard. So first understand this top line. Your main program is the middle. Now you want to get some input. What you will use? You will use your input functions like scanf, getChar, etc. From what? From your source, that is keyboard. So to take input from the user, it is the input to the main program. Now if you want to print the result to the user, to the output, to the console to the monitor, then your functions may be printf or putchar. Similarly, you will put this in your monitor or speaker somewhere else. Now, just opposite is there with data file. Down here is your data file, and you like to read from data file. Think of you are a main program. So what will do? You want to read data, then you will use reading functions from data, that is fscanf, fread, getc, etc. Just always think with respect to main program and file are different. So main program, if you want to read data from file, it is reading functions. If you want to write data to file, it is writing function. Suppose it is reading function, it is writing here. Writing functions, that is fscanf, fread, getc, etc. So I hope you understand this. So the students just get confused between these input output functions. They are confused that we are writing on data or we are giving output. So writing means output, reading means input. Just understand this, it will be clear. Okay, so moving on, here are steps in file handling. So while you are doing file handling in C, you have to proceed through all steps. First is define a file pointer. As earlier I have said that first you need a file pointer that will point to the file which you are going to deal with. So for that we have syntax file, all capital, file, and asterisk file pointer. So if file pointer is a variable, you can write any name here, and including the file is a data type. It defines that our file pointer is of file pointer. Our variable is a file pointer, and it would use a asterisk operator before the variable. Example file asterisk fp. Okay, so after defining a file pointer, here is our second step to create a data file. Your file may be created already, or you might create the data file, it's depending on you. So first we assume that we haven't created any data file, so we have to create our data file first. So for that we have syntax file pointer equals to fopen double quotation file name comma double quotation mode. Now what is this mode? This mode we will read now. So first understand the syntax. File pointer is the, see example, file pointer is the name of variable, name of file pointer which we have created. So earlier we have created fp variable, so we will write fp equals to fopen is our function, so fopen, and in the braces, in the parenthesis, first we have to write file name in double quotation. You can see a double quotation. So in this double quotation we have to write a file name, a full file name with extension like .txt, .dat, etc. So after writing file name, we have to give comma, and in the second double quotation we have to define the mode. Why we are opening this file? To read, to write, anything. So there are certain modes, we will read this now. So we have to define a mode also, in which mode you have to open the file. Before 30 steps, let's see about the different modes, various modes of to open data file. First is read, R. Open an existing file for reading. If you write here R in mode, then it will open the existing file to read. Next is W. W means writing, to open a new file for writing. If you write W, it will open a new file and for writing, in writing mode. Next is A. A stands for append, and open an existing file for appending. That means this A, if you write A, then it will open an existing file for appending or amending, you can say anything. Next, R plus. R means reading, plus means writing also. That means open an existing file for both reading and writing. R plus means reading plus writing. Next, W plus. W means writing, plus means reading, simple. So open a new file for both reading and writing. Next, A plus. A plus means both reading and appending. That means open an existing file for both reading and appending. So these are various modes in C that we use mostly. Okay, moving on. Third step is perform operations. Now after defining a file pointer, after opening a file, you are ready to do operations. That means you can read or write data to or from file using fscanf, fread, getchar, fprintf, fwrite, putchar, or any operations you like according to your need. Okay, our fourth step is to close the data file. As I said you earlier, if you want close opened file, then there are chances to lost data. So for that we have to close. So simple, there is no more difficult syntax, just write fclose and file pointer. Example fclose, and our file pointer is suppose fp. So the file which is pointed by this file pointer fp will be closed now. So it is very simple, right? How to use fscanf and fprintf functions. So as we know, fprintf is used to write formatted data to our data file. Okay, let's see syntax. Syntax is very easy. Don't get confused by seeing this much big syntax. It is very easy to understand it. First is fprintf. It is our function. After that, inside the parenthesis, we need to write a file pointer first. File pointer, and other is same as printf functions. See down printf functions. In printf, what do you have? First you have the control string %d and comma, we have variables, right? So similarly here also we have control string and variables. So it is similar to this. Here will not be the quotation, okay? Now okay, this much. See here fp file pointer we have. Next is control string and %d, whatever you want to write to a file, and variables from where you want to bring those values. Example, let's read example, you will understand clearly. See here. First declare file pointer fp. For example, fp equals to fopen. We have opened the file named example.txt in write mode. I hope you know write mode means open a new file for writing. So there will be created a new file named example.txt and in write mode. After that I have declared int a equals to 5 and char b equals to e. Now I want to write these values to a file. I will use fprintf functions. So fprintf, fp is our file pointer, and I want to store 5, that is integer type, so %d here. I want to give /t, that is a tab in the file, so /t, and I want to store character, so %c here, right? Quotation close, comma. Now first %d I like to bring it from a variable, so I will write here variable a, again comma. Second, that is %d I would like to bring from b variable, so I will write here variable b. I hope you understand. So it is very simple, just different is this file pointer. It is just fprintf is just like printf functions. See what is difference? Here is variable num, here is variable ab. It's obvious, right? Here is one variable, here is two variable. It's simple. Here is %d, here is %d/%c. It is same. You have to give tab in the file, so I will have /t. No matter. And just difference is fp. Before that, before this %d control string, you have to write fp and comma. That's all the difference between printf and fprintf functions. So I hope you understand this. Let's go on. Second is fscanf function. So this is also same as fprintf functions. Only difference is you have to write here ampersand. That's the difference. Okay, let's see one by one. Scanf, it is used to read formatted data from data file. The syntax you can see here, fscanf, fp, control string variables, same as the fprintf functions. So no. Let's understand this by example. Example. First declare a file pointer fp. Fp equals fopen example.txt read. Now we are opening an existing file for reading, right? Example.txt is existing file, R for reading, because we are scanning the files, scanning the data. So we have to open this in read mode. Next is int num. I have declared a variable num and char ch of char type. Okay, now I want to read data from example.txt, this file, and store our result, our value in num and ch. Last time we have printed int a equals to 5 and char b equals to c in the file. Now we are going to read the same file and store in num and ch. Okay, what should we do? fscanf fp %d/t %c, because we have given a tab in the file, so we have to write /t also, and %c. And we like to store these variables in where? Address of num and address of ch. So see here, if you look fscanf functions and scanf function, it is pretty much similar. Here is fscanf, here is scanf. Obviously it is the function, so it will be different. Next is %d/t %c. Here is %d, only difference there is no /t, right? In the file there is /t in the file, as we have given /t while printing, so we write here /t while scanning also. That difference. And next is ampersand num, ampersand char. All is the same, just different is here will be fp more. Fp is added here, and that's the difference between fscanf and fprintf functions. So I hope you understand this. Now next let's proceed to use how to use fread and fwrite functions. So as I said, fread is used to read structure type data from data file. That means to use this fread function you have to write you have to use structure. It will read write whole structure to a file and from a file also. So syntax you can see very easy, not difficult. Fread address of variable, you will write the address of variable in which you want to store data to reading. Next is size of tag name. This tag name is structure name, the name of a structure. Suppose structure student, so in tag name there will be a student, and one means you have to read one data at time. That means how many data you want to read, you have to declare the number here, and fe is a file pointer which is pointing to the file. So where variable is a structure type variable, you can see here structure type variable. This variable is a structure type variable of type tag name. I said tag name will be student, structure student, then a tag name will be student. Size of function defines the size of the structure. Now what is the size of the structure? That much data will be read from the file. So we have to write the size of tag name. One specifies the number of records that can access at once. At once, how many number of records you want to access, that is specified by this number, and fp is a file pointer. Next is fwrite function. So fwrite function is similar as fread. Fwrite is used to write structure type data to a file, and its syntax you can see here: fwrite variable size of tag name and one fwrite is same like the fwrite functions. Remove and rename functions. So how to rename and how to remove functions, let's see here. So to remove functions, just write remove and file name. Which file name you want to remove? Suppose in our example I want to remove example.txt. So I will write here remove and in quotation example.txt. Finished. That's all. Now if you want to rename that file, that means the old file is outdated, now you want to give new file, new name to your old file. So for that, rename, in double quotation you have write old file name. Suppose example.txt is our old file name, comma, and new file name. Which name you want to give new? Suppose I want to give here his name test.txt. So I will write here text.txt. So I hope you understand. It's very simple. So this much for today, and hope you enjoy this video. If you want some more example programs of file handling, if you want some coding related file handling, you can comment down below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.